This week, the field of play is the tiled area, and that belongs to our athletes and authorized personnel only. Please do not enter the field of play for any reason. BowlTV.com is the exclusive live streaming home of the PWBA Tour, and we ask that you do not live stream from your personal devices. All right, athletes, press the check mark on your console. Your arrows will come up. All right, bowling fans, please pick out your favorite pro cheerer on. How about a great send-off for the Pepsi PWBA Louisville PTQ? Good luck.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Louisville, Kentucky for day one of the 2019 Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open from Executive Strike and Spare right near the Kentucky Exposition Center and Fairgrounds here in Louisville. I'm Daniel Farish, filling in for Emil Williams Jr., who I will let you all know, and I can confirm, we have a baby. Baby boy was born late Tuesday night, so congratulations to Emil and Shanice. I know they're not looking to release any information, photos, stuff like that until we get a little further along, but I can report that baby boy is born, healthy, and everything is doing very well in Chicago for Emil and Shanice. So once again, congratulations to those two. Very, very excited for them. Yes, E3 is in the house. Morning, Chris. Good evening, Hosan. Can't say good morning to you. Morning, Michael. I'm sure everybody else will start trickling in as the morning progresses. The PTQ is what is in front of us. As always, 4 channels available. Every pair, well, I guess I should say every pair we're going to have for the Elite event, which starts tomorrow, will be covered. But the PTQ this morning, extending from lanes 13 through 50. So 38 lanes in action this morning. I've received word 9 is the official number. 9 is how many players we are going to take from this PTQ field into the main event, which starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. One name that you may see across our channels, a little shocking to see if you didn't know coming in, Aaron McCarthy, the defending champion of this event from last year, which was held at Fern Valley Strike and Spare, about 15 minutes away. She was inside the top 24 going into Hartford last week. And as we talked about throughout the broadcast, the top 24 this year is a living, breathing document, if you will. So after last week, after the points shuffled, Kelly Kulik needed I believe it was a top 10 finish, and Birgit Poplar needed a top 2 or a top 3 finish to get inside the top 24. Kelly, of course, finished 6th, about 30 pins outside of the TV show. And Birgit Poplar shot 268 the final game on Saturday morning to jump from I believe Birgit was number 5 seed up into the 2 seed, which guaranteed her at least a 2nd place finish. And that is what she netted. If you remember, Shannon O'Keefe took home the victory last week at the 2019 East Hartford Open, her 3rd victory of the year. Only player this year with multiple victories on the season. But Birgit Poplar and Kelly Kulik jumped in the top 24. Shayna Ung and our defending champion, Aaron McCarthy, fell out. Hosan, I believe that's correct, because Shayna fell outside the top 24. She was not in Hartford. So I believe that Sherry Tan is the only one that we will not see that is inside the top 24. Aaron McCarthy, I have not seeked out where she is. I know she's in the building. I did see her. But I would like to think that with the way these skips work, skip 3 pair, skip 1 pair, skip 2 pair each game, we will see her across our featured pairs at some point. If she will hit ours. Good morning, Bonnie. And as soon as I say that, someone hands me a lane assignment sheet. Let me see. Aaron McCarthy will hit this pair, the final game of the PTQ, Game 8, and she will make appearances on our other channels throughout the course of the morning. Who we have in front of us, though, Brandy Branca, who finished 2nd in the Hartford Regional last week, fell 2nd to Gigi Mason, who's just a few pair down. Cassie Nelry up on 40, Caitlin Hull on 41. Kimi Rampone up on 42, leaves the flat 7. And crossing along with her is Andrea Bear. Andrea comes to us from Kettering, Ohio. Kimi, Louisville, Texas. Cassie Nowry comes to us from Maysville, West Virginia. Brandy, of course, from Belleville, Illinois, about 3.5 hours away. And last but not least, Caitlin Hull from Marysville, Ohio. Morning, Jennifer. Welcome. Hope everyone has their coffee and they're ready for I would say a long day, but with only having 3 on most pairs and 2 on some pairs, I've got a feeling these 8 games are going to fly by. Yeah, Chris, this is a very strong PTQ. I was just kind of looking over the roster. We've been pretty busy this morning, so I had not had a chance to look over a lot of the names, but I mean, you listed a bunch of them right there. Of course, names that we saw in the PTQ last week: Haley Richard, Kayla Bandy, Summer Jasmine, Jen Higgins, Lindsay Boomershine. We do have a couple of youth players from the area. Kaylee Hitt from Cold Spring, Kentucky. Kaylee finished just outside the top 16 in the U17 girls division at Junior Gold this year. And then Emma Owens. Emma's from, she's now resides right here in Louisville. Emma has, I believe 2 years ago, Emma was the high school singles national champion, runner-up in the Kentucky singles high school tournament this year. Has top 5 finishes at youth tournaments all throughout the country, San Francisco, Las Vegas. Emma is a very talented player, as is Kaylee, so I look forward to watching them and seeing if they can have some success today. But moving on further down, some names you all would be a little more familiar with. Robin Wilson from up in Cincinnati. Janelle Urban, we saw her just miss out on the cut in the regional last week. Of course, Erin McCarthy, defending champion. Taylor Boltice, we mentioned her name a lot last week. Pamela Alvarez, Jody Westner, Gigi Mason, Ashley Gallant. Jazriel Tan, Megan Sapansky was a standout player here at Bellarmine University. She's originally from Illinois. I think that's where she resides now. She moved back after graduating last year. Of course, Brandy Branca right in front of us. Caroline LaGrange, Brooke Bauer. And some of the names on the back of my lane assignment sheet have been whited out just from fading on the printer, so I can't see all of them. But yes, a very, very talented PTQ this week. I know a lot of you were with us for the main event last week, but if you did not get an opportunity to tune in to the regional, 8 games. The top 4 made the regional step ladder last week for the Bowl TV finals. Gigi Mason fired off 268 the final game to jump into the #1 seed. Carson Lukosius, who was pretty strong all day, had a clean 197. She dropped 1 spot to second in the seeding, and then Janelle Irwin and Brandy Branca, 3rd and 4th, shot 190 and 2-0, but they got in almost because, and I hate to put it this way, but Alexis Nyer and Caitlin Simpson, who were inside the top 4, shot 153 and 147, so they kind of came toppling back over top of Janelle and Brandy. Brandy had to double the 10th and get 9 to shut out Carrie Smith, who had a chance to punch out to get in, and that's exactly what Brandy did. In the first match, Brandy and Janelle tied at 256, and in a 1-ball roll-off, Janelle left a 2-pin, Brandy struck. Brandy went on to bowl Carson Lukosius. It was a back-and-forth match. Both players had opens in the middle of the game. Brandy stepped up in the 10th. She could have doubled and gotten 8 to shut out Carson. She got the first one, but not the second one. Carson got up. Carson could have doubled. Sorry, I'm stopped in my tracks. Over to our left, I don't know if you saw it on 38, Caroline LaGrange left the 278. And she kicked, she made it perfectly. The ball hit the 2-8 on the right side. It knocked the 2 over. It knocked the 8 over. But when the 2 hit the wall, it bounced off and hit the 7. And as the 8 hit the 7 and knocked it to the left, the 2 hit the 7 and knocked it to the right, and the 7 actually stood up and did not fall. It's not the kind of break you want this early in the morning. But yeah, Brandy could have doubled and got an 8 to shut out Carson. She got the first one, so Carson stepped up with a chance to double, and I think she flat 7'd on the first shot. And then it was Brandy and Gigi Mason in the final game in the championship match. And a lot of us sitting back watching thought midway through the game that Brandy had the better ball motion. And then she steps up in the 7th on a double and goes 6-count spare, and then had a 6-count split in the 8th. So she lost a lot of count right there And she could have stepped up in the 10th to, I think, get the first or second one to force Gigi to throw the first one. Didn't get it, and Gigi stayed clean, shot a clean 200, and took home her first regional win, which guaranteed her a spot in the GoBowling.com Regional Showdown, which will take place next Saturday. It will be taped to be shown a week later. It'll be taped after the Orlando Open. And that regional showdown is going to feature all of our regional winners from this year. Of course, Julia Bond won 2 of our regionals. So it will be Julia Bond who won regionals number 2 and 3, Gigi Mason who won the 4th and final regional before the showdown. And then our first regional winner, Elise Bolton, will be featured as well, and they will take the 4th participant from the money leader throughout the 4 regionals this year. I haven't gotten confirmation on who that is, but I'll find out as soon as I can. Yeah, Brandon, you're late. What are you doing to us here? Come on. We were all on time. Morning, Ashley. Take a look up and down the scoring monitors from where I'm sitting behind 39 through 42. And Brandy Branca's score in front of us is by far the class of the field from what I can see. Both Andrea and Kimi started off with a 3-bagger, but have not done much since. Right here on 41 and 42, looking down to my right, I see no one with strings longer than 2 in a row. So Brandy Branca right now, the class of the field, as it were, within about my 18-lane viewing area. All right, Sherry, good morning. You should be here. You live in this city, just like me. I think it was it Hosan who made a comment? Oh no, Chris. Chris, you made a comment about the acoustics in this building, and you're right. The pins have never, clashed loudly. It's always just kind of been a dull thud in this building. Not being an architect, I can't speak to why that is. But the bowling center with the absolute best acoustics in this city is 10 Pin Strike and Spare. That's just my opinion, but I kind of grew up there bowling there in high school. It's right down Interstate 264 from where we are at right here. That being said, I've also said for years, and I will say, I'm not saying this because I'm on the Bowl TV broadcast. I'm not saying this because this is the center we're in. Many people throughout the city of Louisville would agree with you. This is the best bowling center in the city when it comes to hosting tournaments. A big concourse area. You can't tell from the broadcast, but the way that the tables are set up, the pit area drops down. You take 2 steps down to get to the pit area. So we're kind of sitting above where the players are just a little bit. And the way that the tables they're set up back here, it's perfect for live streaming. It's perfect for viewing. They're flat. There's a lot of chairs. You can see, all throughout the house. One of the great things about this place is it doesn't have a snack bar. It has basically a cafeteria. Now, not what you would think where you take a tray and walk down the line and scoop your dish off, but it is an actual restaurant. And many non-bowlers will swing by Executive Bowl's snack bar, as it were, to get lunch. So this place has it all. Mike Wolf, 6-time PBA champion, runs the pro shop here. So you know you can count on him to give you the proper fit and the right equipment. Another solid shot by Brandy Branca. Yeah, Chris, this place, again, I'll mention it again, 10-pin lanes, Thelmal lanes, and I keep seeing lanes because all of those houses were at some point bought out by Strike and Spare, but 10-pin Strike and Spare and Thelmal Strike and Spare, which is now closed. Thelmal and 10-pin here in Louisville, at least when I was growing up, were known to have the best restaurants. Not just bowling centers restaurants, but some of the best food in the city. At one point back in I think Louisville hit its peak in the late 70s. We had 35, 36 bowling centers here in the city. So a lot of great options for a greasy cheeseburger. And if you don't think I'm not getting a cheeseburger once these 8 games are done, you're crazy. Caroline LaGrange over to our left after that odd leave on the 278 on the spare attempt. Has strung 4 in a row. She's making a run at a 230 number. Down to our left, couple 180s, couple 190s. Nothing too big. Gets the late hit on the 9-pin. Brandy bowled the PTQ last week in Hartford and struggled. Struggled right out of the gate and ended up finishing 28th. We took 11 from the PTQ last week. She's trying to avoid any kind of similar outcome this morning. 4-pin finally stands 268, presumably, for Brandy Branca. And as far as the eye can see, no one is within 40, 50 pins over from where I can see. Caroline LaGrange, again, just to our left, can strike out for 230. Brandon, I can speak to twister pins, and Imagine, oh man, how's the best way to put this? Imagine your worst dream, and then imagine that your worst dream ever had its own worst dream ever. That's what twister pins are. I get to bowl in a league on Monday nights here in Louisville at a bowling center that uses twister pins, and basically they're a synthetic makeup, not the traditional wood bowling pins that we've known and loved for years. But twister pins, they fly differently, and I don't know. I'm sure it's just their genetic makeup, so to speak. But they twister pins, you want to hit more light swisher pocket, because if you hit flush or high flush, you're going to be looking at 4 9s, 4 7 9s, 7 9s, lots of 4 pins, lots of stone 9 pins. So twister pins, you want to be half pocket or swisher. I know, Chris. That's one thing I've always been told, is I don't speak my mind enough. But the fun thing about twister pins is that you know that if you get lined up half pocket, you're going to strike for days. But don't miss left, because the minute you miss left and you go high flush, just turn around, because you're going to 4 9. And when you 4 9, you can't get mad about it. You just can't. You can't. The finals of the Kentucky Open 2 Sundays ago were at the bowling center I bowl league at with those twister pins, and we had 12 guys bowling round robin match play with 3 position rounds. So we had 14 games that Sunday, and in 14 games, I left 6 4 7 9 combinations bowling on Kegel's Highway to Hell, which, if you all remember, is just a pretty dead flat 40-foot pattern. Yeah, I left 6 4 7 9 spares, or splits. Pocket, I mean, high flush. Caroline gets the first one, splits on the 11th. In the 10th, she's going to shoot right about 225. I wouldn't say they're a no-go. I would say they're more difficult to score on for a player like me. I don't create a high rev rate or a lot of ball speed, so I'm always trying to find the flush pocket, because I'm more apt to carry the flush pocket than I am a light swisher. So for a player like me, they can be tricky to bowl on. But for a higher rev guy or a player that creates a lot of left to right, if they can stay in the half pocket or the swisher pocket, they're golden. I'll tell you one guy who thinks he can strike no matter what pins are out there, and that's Earl. And he's back for a second season. That's right. Stay tuned for more information as we continue Earl's journey to 900 right here on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here. And I'm excited to see if Earl can get to 900. I think if I shot 900, I would just leave my equipment on the rack. Maybe even walk out with my shoes on. I'm done. It was fun. Bowling had a good ride. I shot 900. I'm done. Let's take a look at who we're going to have in front of us this game. Game 2. Jenna Calderon, Audra Mirnak, and Gigi Mason, our most recent regional champion on 39 and 40. 41 and 42. Alexandra Ross, Ashley Galante and Elena Chapman. Brian, I think if we had Earl shoot at twister pins, the machine would just like fry out and catch itself on fire. Because I know every time I pull a twister pins, I fry out. Wow, Jennifer coming with the fire this morning. I was always led to believe it was everyone in the chat against Brant. Sherry, Erin is bowling the PTQ because going into last week, she was inside the top 24 in the points, and the top 24 are guaranteed to enter the elite events, which are Hartford, Louisville, and Orlando. But it is the top 24 points standings is a living, breathing document, so to speak. So last week, even though she was in the top 24 going into Hartford, she did not bowl Hartford. Kelly Kulik and Birgit Poplar jumped in the top 24, and Erin fell out. So despite being the defending champion, because of how the points work and the format of these elite events, she does have to bowl the PTQ today. Yeah, Hosan, they just added, executive has went through some changes recently, some very good changes. These scoring monitors are 2 months new, maybe 3 months. The LED lighting on the pin decks, I think those were installed along with the scoring monitors, but those are, if they weren't installed with these scoring monitors, they're no more than 6 months old. I know they weren't there when I left for Las Vegas to work the Open Championships back in March. Yeah, that'd be awesome if they kept the lights blinking like that. Last night was the position round for the big trio league that goes on here in Louisville during the summer, and I tried to convince them to run the lights during the trio league, but they wouldn't do it. This pattern's playing a little tougher than I might have expected. Caroline LaGrange scored 224. You know, Brandy had 268. Jenna Calderon right in front of us, 211 the first game, but outside of those players, we didn't see anyone else in the 200 range around us, and I see 1, 2, no, that's after 2 frames. Yeah, I don't see any other 200s around us, so this pattern playing a little more difficult than I remember what we saw at the PTQ last week. Last week in East Hartford, plus 28. was the 11th and final advancing total. Again, top 11 from the PTQ last week made it in. Top 9 this week will advance to the main event, starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. right here on Bowl TV. Well, Sarah, the way the lighting is here at Executive Bowl, we've got lights just over the concourse area, like kind of right where I'm sitting, where the tables are at, between the pit area and the concourse. But there's no lights over top of the pit area. So that's why you're going to have kind of a darker foreground. And then, of course, you've got the lights out over the lanes, and you'll have a brighter background. The way it was explained to me by our resident video production guru, Curtis Von Kruger, is that if you try and brighten up the foreground, you'll basically white out the background, and if you try and bring the background down, then you'll silhouette the foreground. So we just kind of got to let it roll with the way it is. Just a reminder, head to pwba.com/live to check out all the information and scoring updates from this tournament, both the PTQ and the main event, the Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open, which kicks off tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. These elite events, PTQ on Thursday, 2 8-game qualifying blocks on Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. Cut to the top 12. Top 12 will advance to Saturday morning. Bowl 6 more games at 10 a.m. with the live televised finals on CBS Sports Network that evening. This Saturday will be 5 p.m. Again, 5 p.m. Last Saturday was 5:30. This week here in Louisville, 5 p.m. And we are still waiting on Game 1 scoring update online, so if you click it and see more information will be available soon, well, I'm getting the same thing. Also on the third tab on the chat up top, tournament information on your Bold TV screen. You can click that, and that will take you to any relevant information you need. That will forward you directly to pwba.com/live. So we have a scroll on top of the screen. So let's see what information they gave us. First place, shocker, Brandy Branca with 268. Aaron Zubrinsky, 226. So yeah, we did see about a 40 pin gap between them. Caroline LaGrange at 224 is third. So it looks like we did have quite a few players over the 200 range, just nobody really within our viewing area except Andrea Baer and Brandy Branca. So your number to advance, as of right now, 209 is the 9th place total. I can't imagine it's going to stay that high, just based on the scores that we saw around us down here. And we did have some talent down here. So it's not like we just got, you know, that all the talented players were on one end of the house. So while I don't think it'll stay at 209, I do believe it will be plus. I don't think that's anywhere near out of the question. Again, last week was plus 28 for 8 games, so just over us to 203.5 average. Gigi giving the 3.6, 7.10 a run. Can't get the 3. Chris, I have no reason to, he's probably muted now, but I have no reason to trash talk Chris. I like Chris. Although, speaking of Chris, if I remember correctly, yeah, Chris is a Dodgers fan. Oh, man. Well, we can't all make the best decisions. Dodgers. Good morning, Yvonne. All right, we had 11 players total were plus. Game 1, 11 out of a field of 56. Now, you did mention, yes, Jen Higgins did shoot 154 the first game. Aaron McCarthy, 176. Gigi Mason in front of us, 176. Taylor Boltheis, 172. Lindsey Boomershine, 179. So we're seeing some players, Summer Jasmine, who joined me in the booth last Friday night, as well as for the entirety of the stepladder finals for the Hartford Regional on Sunday afternoon. Summer tied with Janelle Irwin, 187. But But your players in the cut: Brandy Branca, Aaron Zuprinsky, Caroline LaGrange, Christine Johnston, Caitlin Simpson, Andrea Baird, Kimi Rampone, Jenna Calderon, and Haley Richard is the number at 209, just outside the cut. Megan Zapansky, Brooke Bauer, Kayla Bandy, Jazriel Tan, Casey Eaton, and Robin Wilson is your top 15. Yeah, I'm a Reds fan, but baseball is kind of, for the major, you know, the big four: basketball, baseball, football, and hockey. Baseball is third on my list, so I do follow the Reds. You know, I'm not just a fair weather fan. I've been a Reds fan my whole life. But how do you cheer for an organization that hasn't done anything in 25 years? It's hard. It's difficult. I'm also a Vikings fan. 4 trips to the Super Bowls, no wins. Constantly getting my heart broken. Yeah, I've got no issue with the Dodgers. Oh, great shot by Elena Chapman over on 42, 479. That did not sound like a high flush 479 either. That sounded like a strike. Excuse me. A little further down, I can see Erin McCarthy. Spare, spare, double, spare, split. And she's shooting a 10-pin right now. I'm not a bandwagoner, no. Oh, caves in the 9-pin. Good shot, Gigi Mason. I will say one thing that I was surprised about looking at the PTQ roster, that we didn't have more bowlers from the Louisville area. I know there are a couple who are more than qualified to enter this tournament. One of the great things about the PTQs that Emil brought up last week is the value. $100 to bowl the PTQ. And if you make the main event, you're guaranteed last cashing place $1,200. So if you're a local player, you have no overhead minus the tournament entry. You don't have hotel, airfare, gas, any normal expenses outside of what your daily life might be for food or just normal gas, gas or wear and tear on your car. Be $100 to enter, guaranteed $1,200 if you make the main event. But only one player, that was Emma Owens, our youth player, that I would categorize as a local bowler entering the tournament. Great shot there by Ashley Galante. Ashley spent 1 year at Weber International, her first year in college, 07-08 at Pikeville. Made 4 all-tournament teams her first year, won the team match games tournament, one of the tier 1s in St. Louis. That was my first collegiate win as a member of Lindenwood. That was a fantastic tournament. And then she took off a year, transferred to Weber International, bowled 1 year at Weber. Picked up 1 singles tournament win and 3 all-tournament teams at Weber as well. And while we might not have, obviously, a lot of players from the Louisville area, a ton of players, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, names that I recognize that aren't normally on tour, but names that I know from just bowling in this area of the country. So a great turnout from this region, and that's what it's all about. We talked about it in Hartford. A lot of names on the roster from the surrounding states, PA, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York. And then that's what you want when you hold a tournament like this, is you want to attract, you're not just looking to draw from the hometown, you're looking to attract from the region. And like we said, $100 to enter, guaranteed $1,200, so your net with no overhead, with no expenses added in, your net is $1,100 if you make the main event through the PTQ. Even if you're talking a night or two hotel, or a couple nights hotel and gas, and you can split it with people if you're driving from a distance, still a chance to make some money and not just compete against some of the best in the world, but a chance to beat the best in the world. Oh, terrible break for Gigi Mason. She breaks down the 2-8, but leaves the 4-10. I know it wasn't a great shot off her hand, and I guess you could say she might have deserved the 2-8, or a 2-10 combination, but to break down the 2-8 like that, but leave the 4, come on. Somebody should tell the Pens, if you're going to leave the 4, you might as well leave the 2 up there as well. Just kick the 8 out. Lana Chapman back-to-back 4-7-9, and then a stuffed 9-pin on 42. She will unfortunately see that lane one more time in the 10th frame. Just watching what's going on around, we are certainly seeing, and maybe not on the 2 featured pairs here in front of us, but on a couple of the other channels and what I can see throughout my viewing range, some odd pinfall. The 4-7-9 by Elena Chapman. Taylor Boltice over on 36, excuse me. went high flush and left a 7-9. The 4 got kicked out late, but it was weird the way it went down. I've seen a 9-10. We saw the 2-4-8-10 that Gigi left where the 2 and the 8 got rolled out. Just some odd pinfall. And that's one of the things that Executive Bowl has always been known for. You know, bowling centers back in the day, now a lot of them are very similar when you're talking about how you play the house shots there. Maybe that's just the equipment or the synthetic lanes, but you know, back in the day, you know, Pro Bowl 1 here in Louisville was known, and I'm just using examples here. Let's say it was known for you always played first arrow. No matter, that was the house shot at Pro Bowl 1 was first arrow. Pro Bowl 2, you knew there was a hang spot on 8, so you never wanted to get the ball right of really second arrow. You know, you knew some lanes, you know, Dixie Bowl's dry or Executive Bowl's, or Dixie Bowl's dry or Ken Bowl's slicker. Just every house had a characteristic. Well, Executive Bowl, for years, it has been incredibly easy to get to the pocket. That is not the issue. The issue in this house has been carry. Has been carrying the 7s and carrying the 10s. And if you kind of stretch that out, it goes to the pinfall here is just different. And the harder the pattern you put down, you know, we've talked about on sport patterns, you leave spares on the deck on a sport pattern that you wouldn't necessarily see on a house shot. And you add that in with the fact that pins already fall somewhat differently in this house naturally, and we're in for some weird stuff tonight, today, tomorrow, Saturday. So if we see some stuff throughout qualifying tomorrow, or heaven forbid the TV show on Saturday, and you see a funky hit or a really just bad break, remember back to this. Don't be surprised. Looks like Gigi's searching right now. She sent the last shot out pretty wide. That one she kept in a little tighter. I think probably tighter than she wanted to keep it. Her best bet is clean up this 6-10 and then try something in the 10th. Try something she has not tried yet. Game 1, she shot 175. This game's going to be right there. Could be another 175 max possibility. Nice, Lana Chapman. See, that's the breaks even themselves out. Stone 7, 4-7-9, Stone 9 pin, and then goes through the face and leaves the 6-10. And I think that was the head pin that comes flying back across the deck and takes out the 6-10. Good shot in the fill by Gigi. Hopefully she can take what she learned right there and apply that to her next, at least her next game or two. Ashley Galante up in the 10th. Chance to get in the 230s. Good shot on the first one. It appears the players that are having success in this pattern are playing a little more direct. Whether they're a little tighter, you know, in around third arrow, with their feet left, kind of playing a fallback, or whether you're Ashley, a little higher ball speed, a little further right. I think she sent that one up, right up around 9, 10, 11.
What are you throwing? I was throwing my ordnance solid, but then it's like, I just...
Crowd mic picking up some conversations from players down there. Give you a little insight into what they're talking about between games. Yeah, Ashley is... That was more up... Okay, her first shot was probably up around 11, 12. That one was more 13, 14. Good morning, Francis, Tucson, Arizona. Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to Bowl TV as we provide live coverage, wall to wall, of qualifying and the cashers round, as well as the PTQ here at the 2019 Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open, wrapping up game number 2. And about to head into game number 3.
Yeah, because it's burning. I can't see her, Robin.
Keep rolling, well, Jenna.
I'll try.
I know you will.
Thank you, too. Where are we going? All right, thank you.
Well, if you're here on Bowl TV, I know you love bowling as much as I do. So I want to urge you to follow the PBA Summer Tour and the race for the USBC Cup exclusively this August on the PBA Network. 7 PBA Tour titles are up for grabs, including berths into the Flow Bowling ATX Invite and the PBA China Tiger Cup. Don't miss the action live on the PBA Network. All right, as we are about to begin game 3, I'm going to step away real quick, grab some water. I'll be right back. You're watching live coverage of the 2019 Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open right here on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here.
Hitting everybody. I can't find a corner to stand in.
All right, back at it here. Game 3 of the PTQ for the Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open. Lanes 39 and 40 right in front of us. Haley Ryan, Robin Wilson, and Christine Gill. And over on 41 and 42, Tammy Walsh, Janelle Irwin, and defending Louisville Open champion, Erin McCarthy. Chris, I'm back now, and I will quickly run over my baseball answer for you. I'm a Reds fan, born and raised. Not much to cheer for in the last 25 years. Hard to call myself a fan. It's third on my list of sports. I guess fourth behind college basketball, NBA basketball, the NFL, and then baseball comes up next. So I'm a Reds fan, but not much to be proud about there. No, Barbara, Kelly did not. By finishing 6th at the East Hartford Open last week, Kelly made her move into the top 24 in points. All right, we have some numbers after 2 games. Your leader still Brandy Branca, plus 451, or excuse me, wow, plus 51. Shot 183 that game. Haley Richard moves into 2nd place at plus 47. Caitlin Hull, plus 26. Christine Johnston, who was right in front of us last game, she's plus 25. Caitlin Simpson, plus 24. Caroline LaGrange, plus 22. Andrea Baer, plus 19. Michaela Mitchell, plus 18. And Aaron Zuprinsky is the cut at plus 16. Just outside the cut, Brooke Bauer, plus 9. Ashley Galante, plus 7. Jazriel Tan, plus 3. Megan Zapansky and Sabrina Divas tied at plus 2. And Kimi Rampone in 15th at minus 1. A couple of names outside of the top 15. Kayla Bandy in 16th at -10. Janelle Irwin, 18th at -18. Jody Westner, -22. Taylor Bultice, -26. Defending champion Erin McCarthy right here in front of us on the 41 and 42. She has went 176, 191. Lindsay Boomershine, -41. Summer Jasmine, -46. Gigi Mason, as we just saw, -50. Jen Higgins bounced back from that 144 to shoot 204 the last game, get to -52. Rumor has it, assuming things go well, we're going to be joined in the booth game 4 by none other than the great Aaron Smith. I can say with Emil home on baby duty, that some of the responsibilities he had have been turned over to some of us, so some of us a little busier than normal. Aaron is already busier than he should be. He was here at 4:30 this morning as we had Brianna Cote, Dasha Kovalova, and Maria Jose Rodriguez with a local film crew, the local Fox affiliate, WDRB, Fox 41. Was out here this morning. They had four segments, one each hour in the 5, 6, 7, and 8 o'clock hours. So Aaron was here at 4:30 to get prepared for that. Yeah, I mean, he is an absolute trooper. Typically, I think, you know, kind of once the PTQ wraps up, he hangs here to finish up work and whatnot. He may just, and I wouldn't blame him if he went right back to the hotel and did his work from there once we get done. He's going to have a long day. Already been here, coming up on 6 hours. Good morning, Alyssa. Welcome. Oh, good to see off to our left on our 35 through 38 channel. One of 4 channels available this morning. Jasmine, Summer Jasmine, the front 6. Diane Spare in the 7th, so good to see her throwing some strikes out there. And can opener in the 8th for Summer Jasmine. One of our youth players that I mentioned from the Kentucky area, Kaylee Hitt, is up on lane 37 over on that same channel. So get a glimpse at what the future holds for women's bowling. Of course, if she's the future, then the near future is already out on tour with us right now. San Antonio. That's my Spurs right there. That's what I like to see. McCarthy seems to have found something and leaves a 5-7. They're in the 7th frame. It does appear this pattern is playing a little longer than it is shorter. Players attacking them pretty direct, pretty north to south. If they do have their feet a little further in, they don't typically have their break point right on this. They're kind of playing what I call the St. Louis fallback, where you might have your feet, let's say, on 30, but down lane the ball is not getting right. At no point is the ball getting right of about 13. just kind of playing the fallback. Or, like we saw from Ashley Galante last game, you're a little more direct between second and third arrow, maybe a little higher ball speed. But definitely not trying to give the pocket away too much. Well, needs a hurry. Christine Gill was showing it right there. The ball was a little left at the arrows compared to where other competitors were at, but she didn't get the ball very far right.
Finally got there.
I know some people were asking. Erin had some work commitments that she couldn't get out of last week, so she was, she was aware of, she was probably going to miss, could possibly fall out of the top 24, but, the great thing about how this tour is structured is it allows players to maintain a full-time job and go out and bowl on tour.
Usually there's only room.
We'll cut down the crowd mic as Kayla just happened to lean right into it. I'll probably move that between games. Kayla Bandy, everybody. In fact, I may go ahead and move that right now. It's only good to have a player's voice on when they're expected to be on. That's a little better. Guessing from bag placement, we will be joined by Kayla next game. And in fact, we will. She'll be on 39 and 40. I just had to move the mic because when you leaned over, you were talking right into the crowd mic.
What did I say?
Nothing bad.
Oh, darn.
I was like, let me move this because I like when players are on, but I want them to know they're on. Yeah, back to what I was saying. The way this tournament, or the tour is structured is it allows players with full-time jobs to come out and bowl. But unfortunately, sometimes jobs get in the way of us doing what we want to do, even if you are a PWBA champion. And Chris, you beat me to it. That's exactly what I was about to mention. Uh-oh. I'm not going to throw him on yet, but he's joining me. He's sitting down. We'll wait till he's ready. Chance for Aaron here to double to get plus for the game. Back-to-back flat 10s on that lane. Just doesn't have the motion going to the pins that she needs. I think it was it Hosan? to find who it was that mentioned Erin's body language, and I agree. No, it was Chris. Yeah, Erin's body language just. She comes back most shots shaking her head. Doesn't look confident in what she's doing, whether it's somewhere she's at with her physical game or just the straight out ball motion that she's getting. But does not look happy out there right now. Converts the 10 pin, no problem. For those of you who may be unaware of Erin's resume, at least out here on tour, 10th at the 2012 U.S. Women's Open, 9th at the 2014 Queens, 3rd at the 2015 Lincoln Open, 2nd at the 2015 Queens, 3rd at the 2017 U.S. Open. She was the 2017 Team USA Trials champion. As well as the defending Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open champion. There's no question how well she throws the ball and what she can accomplish. But these days, I learned this at an early age, and it's getting truer and truer as the days go on. You can't out-bowl bad ball reaction. And it certainly doesn't look like as she manipulates the ball with her hand on that shot, gets to wrap the 10 out, shoots 192. It doesn't look like she has a great motion. I mean, yeah, there's still time. She's minus 41. The cut right now is at plus 16. So there's still time. A player of her caliber can absolutely pop off a couple 220s. I say a couple. She would need more than a couple, but I mean, she could average, if she gets the right motion, she could average 220 the rest of the day. Irwin, nice little 213 up on, or 214 up on the board. Tammy Walsh, 191, and Erin McCarthy, 192. Christine Gill steps up on lane 39, a chance to double to get into the 230s. Ah, 6 wraps around the 10, can't get it out. Christine coming into this game. What's after 1? What's after 2? Christine Gill coming into this game was a minus 35 with 175, 190. So that game would have gotten her right around even on the day. All right, Willie, I'm glad you're back. That is good to hear. The great thing about these Cubica AMF scoring systems, and we've seen it after 2 games here, and all throughout the Kentucky Open, the one block that was hosted here, is once the last bowler gets done, man, those scores on the ticker at the bottom are almost instantly updated. The thing that stinks is how quick, and we saw this in East Hartford, how quickly, once a pair gets done, that the scores jump off. I mean, as soon as the final bowler throws their final shot on that pair, it is, you blink your eye and you're going to miss it. Just how quickly they jump off the screen. So if you're writing scores down, or if you're tracking somebody, man, you've got to, oh, on lane 41. Mary Gallegos left the 2-4-5-8-10 and the 2-4-5-7-10, and somehow the 4-5-7 got rolled out, leaving only the 2-10. That is not the shot you want to throw on a live stream pair. Immortalized forever. But hey, at least you got the 4-5-7 out. Three straight weeks of competition. East Hartford Open, the Louisville Open, and next week we are in Orlando. But after a couple of weeks off, the 2019 Cubica AMF PWBA Players Championship will take place in Raleigh, North Carolina on September 4th through the 8th, and you can watch competition live right here on Bowl TV. Make sure to tune in to watch the best female bowlers in the world compete. Bowl TV, bowling lives here. And that is not an exaggeration when we say the best bowlers, female bowlers in the world. I don't know what it is. I can't speak to why, but I know that if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And the PWBA Tour has welcomed some of the best players from around the world. Malaysia, Singapore, China, Colombia, South America, the United Kingdom, Europe, I mean everywhere, Latvia, Germany. They all come here to bowl on this tour, and we have the opportunity to watch them, in our home centers, right here on Bowl TV. And as we begin game number 4 here at the PWBA Louisville Open PTQ, I am joined in the booth by none other. I teased him earlier. He's here. AA Ron Aaron Smith. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
That's the question I've got to ask you, because you've been here for quite a while.
I've been here for 6 hours already today, yes.
Oh, my word.
But it was for a good reason, so.
It was. I talked a little bit about it, the 3 players that we had. How did everything go on the TV show?
It was awesome. It was, Keith was out here last year to kind of help promote the Louisville Open when we were at Fern Valley. And so Emil, my man, reached out to see if Keith was interested once again in joining us here, and he said, sign me up. Didn't look like Keith had practiced much in the past year, though, unfortunately. But it was fun. As you mentioned, Dasha, Brianna, and Maria all out here, just having a good time, trying to teach Keith a little bit, and then we got into some of the more fun stuff because Keith couldn't win, bowling normally.
Right.
So he was trying to find a game that he could win. So they tried left-handed, they tried granny style, between the legs, backwards. Keith didn't get any of them, though. So our ladies are very versatile when called upon in such situations. So.
Well, the only, I guess, competition that I saw when I got here about 3 hours after you got here was it was Keith and Maria on one lane, and it was Brianna and Dasha on the other. And one player went first and threw their shot, and the second player had to pick up whatever spare was left.
Correct.
And Keith went first. He did the between the legs, facing the pit area, between the legs, backward shot, left a 5-pin. Brianna goes up, throws her shot, and leaves for Dasha to try and make the 3, 6, 7, 9, 10.
Yep.
Maria picked up the 5-pin that Keith left, no problem. Dasha struggled a little bit on that 3, 6, 7, 9, 10.
This is true. That might have been his lone win. He was really good when the cameras were off, like when we weren't remoting into the live morning show. It's like he was making spares, he was striking. But we did, but as said, it was a ton of fun. Not only, Keith, very appreciative of the knowledge that was shared from our players, but they really had a fun time out there too. So very thankful for the center here, Executive Strike and Spare. Jason and company also coming in early so we could have lanes on, we could have the lights on, we could have the pair up and running. So quite a few folks went into making this happen, so big thanks. It was a lot of fun, and it is weird to be someplace for 6 hours and it only be 10:30 in the morning. So
Yeah, and it's not like a morning shift where you're working 8 or 9 hours and going home.
might be a long day, but that's okay. We're used to this.
We are.
We're used to this. Come on.
Yeah, long days in bowling centers is what we signed up for.
So Daniel, as the astute observer that you are, I finally started watching some bowling in Game 3. And it seemed like for our right-handers, the move has been take a step left, get around 18, 19, 20 at the arrows, and just make a good shot from there.
Yeah, I was so busy with other things. Game 3 is when I actually started watching, balls go down the lane, and that's exactly what I saw. The one player who had some success attacking it further right was Ashley Galante, but when I say further right, at the arrows, she was further right, but down lane, her break point was still 11-12. Most other players that we've seen striking on our featured pairs here, they have their feet deeper, maybe around 30-ish, and the ball at the arrows is 18, 19. I mean, it's exactly what you said, but they're not getting it further right than about 12. It seems like if you give the pocket away, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that's essentially your new gutter once you move in.
Yes.
So that's what I've been seeing as well, and we've seen some players take advantage of. There have been some big games, even though when you kind of look at the overall scoring pace, it's been, nothing too crazy, nothing out of this world. But for instance, Summer Jasmine, who's got the front four, she shot 255 last game to get to plus. So Summer has found something. You could see, with how this pattern is shaping up, with players getting left, that's going to play to her strengths. And she got the right ball in her hand, and she's making some good shots, looking for 5 in a row.
Uh-oh. And the minute you leak one out to the right.
Not coming back from there.
And neither is Haley's. Haley Richard on lane 40, along with Amanda Mokaby and Kayla Bandy. Over on 41 and 42. Shavannah Pickleheimer. Awesome last name, by the way. Summer Jasmine and Mary Gallegos.
Big congratulations to Kayla Bandy for holding on for a spot for the Go Bowling PWBA Regional Showdown.
I meant to ask about that.
Was official. We did tally it up. It was an interesting situation heading into, for those of you watching the East Hartford Regional, we wanted to double check a few things just to make sure before we kind of got into it, because I know you asked me about it and I wasn't ready to say too much, but Jasmine was actually in a position either way. If she would have won or if she would have lost, she would have gotten in from the money or from winning. Brandy had to win, and then if Brandy did not win, it was going to be Kayla was next up on the list. So Kayla will be part of that special showcase next week in Orlando to air August 24th on CBS Sports Network, along with Jasmine Mason, Julia Bond, and Elise Bolt.
Elise recovering from a back injury. And Julia won 2 of our first 3 regionals. So she kind of stole one of the spots, and that's why we had to fall back on the earnings list for that 4th and final spot in that regional showdown.
That is correct. And the same thing would have happened. You had to be a PWBA member to qualify for that aspect of it. So that, you know, that was a Carson Lukosius last week was the number 2 seed. If she would have won, essentially that spot would have been up for grabs, if you will, based off of the same thing, since she wasn't a PWBA member at the time of bowling. That was one of the stipulations of earning that spot for that extra payday, if you will, and little TV time. So
yeah,
perks to membership, similar to the perks of being in your hometown and knowing things about your hometown area. If only we knew someone who knew this hometown area.
I know. It would be helpful. Maybe give you some places to go eat, grab some food. You know, although it couldn't be any more convenient for the players with Executive Strike and Spare literally right across the street from the airport.
I was very surprised at that when I got into town yesterday because you were already here practicing.
Yes.
That P word. I believe
Practice.
I think that's how your dad referenced it, that P word.
The P word, yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go check it out. You know, glance at the GPS. It's like, oh, it's close. It's not too far away. I didn't realize it was right here. Like, I'm getting ready for my first turn out of the airport. I'm like, oh, wait a second, that says bowling center. Oh. Like, I'm seeing I see Freedom Hall first, and then I see, you know, you got the, what's the amusement park called?
Kentucky Kingdom.
Kentucky Kingdom. You see rides going and things of that nature. You're like, okay, this is what it's all about. And then you're like, oh, the bowling's right here.
We do have some numbers after 3 games. Brandy Branca, still your leader, shot 197 that game to fall to plus 48. It's Caroline LaGrange up to plus 35 after shooting 213. Kimi Rampone, 235 that game. Jumps up into 3rd at plus 34. Caitlin Hull, plus 25. Megan Zapansky, plus 16 in 5th. Haley Richard, right in front of us, shot 168. Falls to plus 15, but still inside the top 9 in 6th place. Christine Johnston, plus 12. Summer Jasmine, as Aaron mentioned, shot 255, had the front 6 last game to get plus. She is plus 9 and working on a max score of 277 this game through 7 frames. Michaela Mitchell, your 9th and final player, looking to advance into the main event tomorrow at plus 7. Just outside the cut, Casey Eaton, plus 6. Andrea Bear, plus 1. Only 11 players are above that even number. Janelle Irwin, minus 5. Brooke Bauer, minus 6. Kayla Bandy, minus 7. And in 15th place, Christine Gill, who just shot 225 to get to minus 10. Erin McCarthy, who shot 192, our defending champion last game, is now minus 41.
So with this scoring pace, you know, you're not in too much trouble if you're averaging a buck 85 right now. You don't want to be,
no,
of course, but it's something in front of you that you can get to without having to go 260 every game.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, Erin, with 5 games left, Erin is still okay. You know, being the player that she is, they can make the kind of shots she can. As I look down, she's been front 3 split spare this game. But if she can find a motion, you know, the cut has went from plus 9 to plus 16 to plus 7. So it actually came down 9 pins after game 2. And if it hovers around that 202, 203 average mark, that would be a plus 25, let's say, for a good number. And right now, Erin's minus 41. So asking her to find a way to go plus 70 the next 5 games, it's not even 220. That's 214. So it's very doable for her.
Mary's putting together a nice game here. That's her second 3-bagger. See if Summer can keep it going.
Boom.
She's pretty good.
She's not. And I told her during the regional, you know, she thanked me for having her in the booth. Really enjoyed it. I said, well, I'd enjoy it more if you were down there in front of me. If you were on camera, not behind camera.
Well, she's planning on not joining her this week if she keeps throwing shots like that.
That's
so.
fine.
Said too much Daniel, had enough. Just like that.
You know what? For the amount of time she spent with me Friday night and Sunday, most people don't make it that long. Oh. Bad break on the 4-9 there from Amanda.
Now Daniel is as I asked you a day or two ago if you consider this one of your home houses, and you said yes.
Yes.
What's the like when you see a 4-9 or something like that? What's kind of the hit here? What's the hit you can get away with?
Well, it's funny you ask. High flush in this house is what you get away with. That's why that 4-9 is an exceptionally bad break. But in here, if you're half pocket, more than likely you're going to leave a corner pin. That's what this place has been known for over the years. Really easy, the house shot to get to the pocket, but incredibly tough to carry. Now that characteristic has smoothed itself out a little bit ever since they put the synthetics in 2.5 years ago. Because up until, I guess it was January of 17 is when they started putting these synthetics in. This place was still wood, and the wood was in very good shape. I will give them that credit, absolutely. But, gosh, it was hard to carry. I mean, you had to have the perfect angle going into the pocket on the back end to get the corners out.
I think that was a pretty good example right there on 39 from Kayla. That was
on cue.
Looked really, really good, but you could just kind of tell it was going to be entering the pocket just a touch late.
Yeah, in this house, just wraps that 10. In this house, pins just fall differently. You'll trip 4s here in a way that you won't necessarily do it other places, but you'll leave 10 pins here on shots that you just were pretty sure you pured it off your hand. No doubt off Haley Richards' hand on that shot, 10 straight back.
And Haley needs a few good shots here to kind of get her momentum back after strong first 2 games, 160s last game, and just some miscues here in game number 4. But still plus heading into this game, so an opportunity to find some late success.
Mary was minus 54 coming into this game. Possibility of a 220 up there. Would climb a little closer to that top 9 cut. Of course, Summer Jasmine just inside the cut at +9. A big game here. This, I mean, right now is looking to put her in the lead.
Yeah, this would be a huge jump in the standings. Chance to get into the +80 range. Don't want to say that that would make you feel too comfortable, but make you feel pretty good. Half a block to go.
Oh yeah, I'd feel, just looking at the scoring pace and how it's been, I'd feel, if I'm a player who can repeat shots and is good, and all these players are, oh yeah, +80. I wouldn't quite start making my plans for lunch. I'd still know I had 4 games left, but
just gonna say, as I mentioned to you, I had a delectable, or delightful. Let's go with delightful breakfast sandwich here this morning from the snack bar. Filled me up. Came with hash browns.
oh man.
Is that all right? That's what I needed. I was.
Oh.
I needed that.
You'd been awake for 5 hours at that point. Yeah, that's for most people. 5 hours into your day, it's lunchtime. Summer out of trouble, does not leave a 10-pin with that light 2-pin. So 256 on the board, a possibility for Summer Jasmine. Great shot by Haley Richard there in the 8th, rings the 10-pin, same result that Kayla Bandy had last time up on that lane. Covers it, no problem.
Looks like Summer's going to go to the bag for the fill ball here.
Oh. It was left off her hand. You never want to make a ball change on a fill ball and then make a mistake. The result in a case like that is less important than what you see out of the ball. You'd rather throw a great shot and have the ball misbehave or behave accordingly and get 7, 8, 9 than you would to make a bad shot and strike.
And I think that's such a tough factor for a lot of players out there and it's kind of become more common is that if you're not striking, it's a ball change versus, attempting to, try to make changes with your physical game, come around it a little bit more, try to change some things that you're doing to it. But yeah, I think, that's always a big point of kind of knowing where you're at as a player is, not making those moves off of bad shots or making a ball change off a bad shot or things like that. So I'm sure for Summer, just shot 250. Just wanted to see something right there, but would feel confident going right back to ball they got her there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's making a change like that in the fill ball makes it even more important to know your equipment. Know when you pull a ball out of the bag, okay, I have a good idea of what this ball's going to do. If you're in Summer's position, you're not looking for a completely different motion. You're looking for a subtle change, a small tweak to what motion the ball you have it currently is giving you. You don't want to pull a ball out of the bag and have it just completely, oh, nice kick on the 9-pin by Kayla, and have it completely surprise you because that shows a lack of knowledge of your equipment. And you don't want to do that because let's say you're in the middle of a championship match and you got to make a ball change. You don't want to go to the bag and go, oh man, I don't know what this ball or that ball or these balls are going to do based on what I'm throwing now. That's a position no one ever needs to be in or wants to be in.
It's downright terrifying.
It is.
All right, looks like we have got some lower thirds to change out to our left as we're preparing for Game 5. I'll be back.
All right, I'm going to step away as well for a quick hot minute.
All right.
We will leave you all with the sounds of crashing pins as we enter the second half of the PTQ Game 5 here at the Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open PTQ at Executive Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky, right here on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here.
Yeah, I know. Me too. But I've come to find that I don't always have to be that way. What is that? Is that a hustle? Okay.
Okay, so I'm just talking about MVP. That's what I do the whole game. Like, I feel like Sim is the like. It's kind of middle of the game. We have what do it? I don't know what it does. The first time I did that.
I almost just said bad words. Camera's on, so I was like,
Hey, I had to slow down the whole lot.
hey,
Literally, are you from this side? 40 is not
Because I knew that I wasn't gonna.
look as much as
sorry, Kayla. It's okay.
Yeah, I just chuck it.
It is a little shiny. What about next? Have you tried?
That's what I was using.
Oh, you tried?
Yeah. Couple times.
That makes sense. I mean, that's just I mean, that's
It is a little shiny. Maybe not yet. Maybe in a little
yes.
bit.
That is way too shiny.
All right, back at it here. Sorry for the delay. Had some housekeeping stuff to take care of. We are in the middle of Game 5 of the PTQ here at the Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open at Executive Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky. Take a look at the players in front of us on our featured pairs here in Game 5. This is, of course, one of 4 channels available throughout the house. We have cameras covering, let's see, lanes 3, 39, 37, 33 through 46. Those will be the pairs in use for the Elite event, the main event that kicks off tomorrow. This, of course, the PTQ, taking up lanes, I believe, 13 through 50. So a lot of our lanes covered for the PTQ, not every single one, but you will see every single player in the field hit one of our 4 channels today. Right here on 39 and 40, Game 5, Michaela Mitchell, Amy Magel, and Aaron Zuprinsky. And right next door on 41 and 42, Lauren Pate, Deshelle Casey, and Caitlin Simpson. We do have some numbers up on the ticker after Game 4. Nothing online quite yet. It looks like Zapansky's moved into the top 9 into 7th. Brandy Branca has fallen out of the lead. She was at plus 48. She's now plus 5. So 157 the last game, and Brooke Bauer moves back into the top 9 at plus 5. So that's your cut right now after 4 games, plus 5. I'd be willing to bet that Summer Jasmine's probably our leader. No. Kimi Rampone with plus 76. Summer Jasmine is in second place at plus 55, I believe. 65. Plus 65. Caroline LaGrange in third place at plus 53. Lauren Pate, nice conversion on the washout there on lane 41. Kaylin Hull is in fourth place at plus 37. Michaela Mitchell right here in front of us, about to bowl on lane 40. She is in fifth place at plus 17. Andrea Bear in sixth at plus 15. And that brings us to the 4 that we talked about, or the 3 we talked about before the ticker updated. Zapansky in 7th at plus 10. Brandy Branca in 8th at plus 5. And Brooke Bauer, I believe, was our 9th place contestant, also at plus 5. some solid bowling going on in front of us this game. Only 4 opens as we hit frame 5 between our, or frames 5 and 6 between the 6 bowlers right here. And 3 of those opens are splits. Oh, as soon as I say that, Aaron Zubrinsky just breaks down the big 4. Looks like Chris keeping everybody updated as to what's going on in this elite field. I'm glad he could clarify right there in the chat, but just in case nobody saw it, the elite events, East Hartford, Louisville, and Orlando next week. The top 24 in points, they still have to pay the entry fee, but they are guaranteed a spot in the main event. And then we take, at minimum, 8 out of the PTQ at each event, which will be run on the Thursday before qualifying starts on Friday. And if we have players that are in the top 24 that are not going to make that event, that just adds extra spots that will come out of the PTQ. For example, last week, Sherry Tan, Shayna Ung, 2 of our players from Singapore, as well as Aaron McCarthy, did not bowl the main event. So 11 players advanced out of the PTQ. And today, I should say, first of all, the top 24, or second of all, the top 24 is a living, breathing document, if you will, in that those standings change from event to event. So where Aaron McCarthy was in the top 24 last week, with the way the points worked out, with Birgit Poplar finishing 2nd, Kelly Kulik finishing 6th, those 2 players jumped inside the top 24, and Aaron McCarthy as well as Shayna Ung fell out. So Aaron has to bowl the PTQ today to make it into the main event, and she is our defending champion from last year's event when this was held at Fern Valley Strike and Spare, right here in Louisville. We talked with Aaron Smith about the long day that he's spent here at Executive already, and I know that just like him, I can't get enough of bowling. And if you can't get enough of bowling, I suggest listen in to the Out of Range podcast featuring Tony Franklin and crew as they talk about everything on the lanes and some things off the lanes, with some of the game's biggest stars stopping by each week. Being a guy with a radio background, I go into any kind of podcast or video or vlog type thing with a detective's eye. I like to find faults, or I like to see, oh, they could have done that better, they could have done this better. And being a guy that comes from radio background and a bowler, when I listen to the on the lanes, or excuse me, the Out of Range, I'm getting Emil's production mixed up with this. When I listen to the Out of Range podcast, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I could not find a fault with it, especially as a bowler. They were spot on with a lot of things they talked about. Some of the names they have on there, I'm not going to spoil it. You got to find out for yourself. It's well worth giving a click. Couple strings out there right in front of us. Caitlin Simpson on a 4-bagger, stepping up on lane 41 as we speak. Deshelle Casey will step up on 42, also on a 4-bagger. Off her hand, Caitlin kind of dropped her shoulder. She didn't like that one. I think she got that one a little bit right of her intended target. Aaron, I think at a stop in the near future, we need to get you and Emil, maybe Brant down there, and JT to bring your bowling equipment and have a Bowl TV bowl-off between the PR department, or the communications department here at the USBC PWBA.
You just want to win, that's all.
I didn't say I had to take place. I had to be there.
You just want to be there to
Well,
watch.
yeah, I mean, as we've talked about, we know for sure that I'm here today, this week, and in Orlando next week. But if things are all kosher and all good back home, Emil could be back as soon as the players.
Nice cover there by Caitlin of the 210. And
Yes, it was.
yes, well, I'm injured. JT's half injured.
Oh, I forgot
Brant-
the excuses. Your
Brant's-
shoulder.
Brant works out too much now, so he can't bowl. He's a two-hander, but he's too buff for being two-handed now. So now he's got
Got to get back to one-handed.
you got to be loose. You got to have. I hope he's listening right now. We'll see if he looks over here in a minute once it catches up. But yeah, you can't be. He's too tight when he bowls two-handed.
Yeah, you got to be a little looser than that.
And one of the fun things we had last year was in our journey to 900. There it is. All right.
He heard us. Okay.
Journey to 900, we had a few guest hosts, and of course the next Journey to 900 is going to be coming up on Monday.
Yes.
There he is. Now he's looking at us. And one of our guest hosts last year was Jason Belmonte, and obviously Jason two-handed. Didn't do so well with early. Had a good game plan though. I liked how he was thinking about it and everything. But Brant was talking to him a little bit. Trying to learn a little bit more about two-handed bowling. This, that, the other. So I bowled league with Brant that year, and so I decided right after this, I'm gonna take a video of Brant and I'm just gonna tag Belmo in Twitter. So I end up doing that. And Belmo responds because he's pretty cool about that. This might take a while for you to find it.
That's fine. I can find it.
This was a long time ago. And,
We got time.
we do have time. Plenty of bowling left to do here. And Belmo said something along the lines of how, Brant, you're too tight. You gotta loosen up there. If he keeps going to the gym, he keeps getting more buff.
He's not doing his bowling any favors then. That's one of the things that I credit Belmo with, is you can tell over the last couple of years he's slimmed down, and he's gotten, you can just tell his figure, his face. He's lost some weight, he's toned up, and Belmo I think is probably now in better shape than we've ever seen him on tour. And to continue doing the two-handed style, I think you have to be, as you get older, you have to get in better and better shape because of what it demands. But when they interviewed him and they talked to him about, I forget where this was, but they asked about how physically demanding is the two-handed style compared to the one-handed. And he said if you think about it, with the two-handed style, it's less wear and tear. If you do it the correct way, if you have some slide and you don't plant, if you keep your back straight, if you don't, over-rotate your shoulders or snap through it, the two-handed style is less wear and tear on your body than some of the power players of the one-handed game. So I'm really looking forward to, over the course of the next, 5-10 years, to see where all these two-handed players, maybe 10-15 years, some of the younger guys, to see how this two-handed style affects their longevity on tour.
Lauren Pace is going to come in a little bit light there, but she's going to jump into the 240s this game, which will essentially that'll be a pretty sizable leap in getting closer to that top 9. So we now see a leading total plus 76. Kimmy Rampone, previously Kimmy Davidson, national collegiate champion, Sam Houston State back in 2014.
Very nice. And Caitlin Simpson just outside. We gave you the top 9 as they ticked across earlier. 10th is Caitlin Simpson right in front of us, who's in the 230s right now. She's -3, so 8 pins out of the top 9. Christine Johnston, -5. Kayla Bandy, -7. Ashley Galante, -17. Aaron Zubrinsky, -21. And in 15th place, Mary, I don't know if you rolled the L's on her last name or not.
Gallegos.
Gallegos? Okay. Mary Gallegos at -34 in 15th place. A couple names you may have heard earlier in the day you didn't hear just now. Haley Richards shot 147 the last game. We saw her struggles on our featured pair. She drops down to 17th. Christine Gill shot 162 the last game to drop to 18th. Janelle Irwin shot 145 last game to drop to 20th. And we'll keep you updated on defending champion Erin McCarthy last game. Shot 159 to fall to -82.
So going to have some work to do here in the back half of, you know, her mindset coming into this. It's good, Matt Russo. Her mindset was, you know, she kind of knew coming in this was going to be a possibility. She knew she was going to miss some events throughout the course of the year. And, you know, she basically came in the mindset that, okay, I just got another qualifying round. It's the same tournament. It's all happening. Just it's another qualifying round. So
right.
She's down to half a qualifying round left to go. She wants those extra ones. But, you know, still, even though as, you know, you don't want to be -80. It's still out there. It's going to be a little bit more work, but she can find her way into a 220 ball reaction.
And I think she can get there. I mean, but at some point, we are going to quit saying, you know, we'll have to quit saying with her skill, with her talent, she can get there, and we have to start saying, all right, she's in some trouble. But as we say this, I found on Twitter the video you posted of young Brant.
Young Brantland.
This was about a year and a half ago. I may retweet this just to get it out there.
Why do you keep watching it? Although we're like halfway to a perfect game now.
With all the strikes he threw, yeah.
He did label that one, though. So
He did.
let's see here. Let's see if we get a...
Now, Jason's comment, his response to Brant's bowling, certainly better, but that right arm still needs some better direction in the swing. Keep at it, Brant.
Yoga, that's what they were talking about.
Brant flies
Flexibility.
yoga, and more yoga for that arm swing. Thanks for the help, 2 hands. Hashtag 2 hands. All right. Enough about young Brant's bowling. If you're not as skilled a player as Brant, and you want to just have some fun with it, be the first to experience hyper bowling. Bowling's newest game from Cubica AMF, where the lighted bumpers are actually part of the game. Hit the bumpers, then hit the pins. Hyper bowling plays like a physical video game on a bowling lane. And now everyone can play and win because every shot counts every time. Learn more at hyperbowling.com. Emil showed me like a demo video for this hyper bowling. Junior Gold maybe it was. And there's actually one close to Louisville. I think it's up in Anderson, Indiana. I gotta check on that. But I'm not one for, when it comes to bowling, I'm not one for, I don't want to say gimmicks, but when I bowl, it's very, I don't open bowl with friends. It's either practice or compete. This looks like a wicked amount of fun. Looks like the closest location is up to Louisville. It's up in Newcastle. That's what it was. Up in Newcastle, Indiana. So check it out. They've got a couple down south, one in New Orleans, one in Florida, South Carolina, Texas, Oklahoma, California, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Washington, and then a lot on the eastern seaboard Virginia, Maryland, and the New York areas. Well worth checking out, though. It looks like a lot of fun. Michael, that's how I was saying it earlier, and Aaron got me off. That's how I said it first. I said Gallegos. I was right. I was right. Michelle, good morning. Good to have you here. A little late to the party, but hey. Bridget Jacobs, Jazriel Tan, Megan Zapansky over on 39 and 40. Sabrina Divas, Casey Eaton, and not sure who our third player is. Let me pull up a sheet here. Heading into game 6 of 8. Christine Johnson. Gallegos. So, Chris, you're saying Michelle is like Chick-fil-A. Like when people go to Chick-fil-A and they say their order was messed up, their order wasn't messed up. What you got is what the universe intended for you to get, because Chick-fil-A doesn't mess up. So, Michelle's never late. She just gets here, like you said, when we need her the most, when she belongs here. Okay. I'm never going to forget that. Michelle is Chick-fil-A. Okay, I got it. We're good. Well, that's why they brought me in. Just to keep anyone updated, I know I started off the broadcast by saying this, but in case you're wondering, we do have a baby. Emil and Shanice welcomed little E3 into the world late Tuesday night, so a big congratulations go out to them. They are going to make amazing parents. I'm very excited for them. And as I mentioned, talking with Aaron, depending on how things go, you know, back in the Chi-Town, Emil could be back as soon as the players in Raleigh, or could just be back for the Tour Championship in Richmond. Sabrina Divas kicks out the 4-7. Talked to Sabrina last week because there seemed to be some confusion about the pronunciation of her last name, and she said if it's pronounced Divas, if you said Divas, don't worry about it. Just don't call me Davis. Just don't take out an I and add an A. It's spelled the way it's spelled. Sabrina Divas trips out the 4-pin right here on Bowl TV. Oh, curl ball. Ah. Jazrael minus 83 coming into this game, has struggled throughout the course of this morning. Shot 172 the last game. As I look at her scores, you look at a plus-minus number, and you do the average of what they've averaged, and you just assume that number is indicative of how they've bowled all morning. But Jazrael, not so much. 194, 209, shot 136 the third game, and that's a majority of her minus number. Follow that up with a 206. Was it minus 55? Before shooting a 172 the last game. So really, only one game has kept her from being closer to the cut. It hasn't been a consistent, struggle of the morning. It was just that one game at 136, game 3. We do see over on lanes 35 through 30, or channel 35 through 38. Sorry, Aaron Smith is a sneaky, sneaky man. He had gotten up and walked away. I look left, and this was like 5 minutes ago he got up and walked away. I'm looking to my left to talk about Brandy Branca, who since her 268 game 1 has struggled and was just shooting the big 4. And I turned back to my right, and there's Aaron, almost nose to nose with me. That's one of those your heart jumps up into your throat kind of moments.
Then my job is done.
Yeah, your job is done for the day. You can go back to the hotel. Segura, 9 players from this field of 56, excuse me, 9 of the 56 out here today will make the cut into the main event that begins at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning right here on Bowl TV.
Jazzy Tan, one of the players to make it out of last week's PTQ.
I was just talking about her. She's was minus 83 coming into this game. And a lot of it was one game. She shot 136 her third game. She goes 192-0, 130, 2-0, and then 172 game 5. Megan Zapansky in front of us, lane 40, standout collegiate player at Bellarmine University. Double dribbles that ball. Got the 5 out. I think she knows she was lucky to get to just end up with a 7 pin.
You can kind of see her walking away from that one as well, just kind of working with the hand motion at the bottom of the swing, saying that one didn't go as planned, but I would echo that sentiment that that's a good 7 pin right there.
I know that whenever I double dribble a bowling ball, which is rare, but when it does happen, I know that I'm going to stone an 8 pin. It's I would say 80% of the time I double dribble it, I'm going to leave an 8 pin, so I just turn around and walk away. There's no reason to watch it happen. I know what's going to happen.
I don't know which I'm more impressed by, the confidence of you not double dribbling a bowling ball, or the utter confidence you have in leaving an 8 pin. 80%, that's high.
It is. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
Can we test this? I would like to test this.
We actually can.
Yes.
I know of a bowling center somewhere in the area. When they put their synthetics in, the install wasn't great. It's like on these synthetics, the approach and the heads are all one piece. So the foul line is just a black, just a black image on the plastic. Well, the install at another house, the synthetic approaches and the synthetic lanes are separate from one another. So there's like a black strip, like rubber strip, that's the actual foul line, but on some lanes it sticks up 1/16 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. Well, I'm a player that gets the ball down right at or even before the foul line. So when I do that and my ball hits it, it double dribbles. So I could take you to that house and we can test it.
How about that? But does it have tall gutter caps?
No, it does not have the tall gutter caps like Woodland Bowl in Indianapolis.
How about that? Coming full circle, folks.
That takes us back to our discussion at the Super Senior Classic at Samstown.
Looks like we're still waiting for an update here on site for our scores through game number 5. As soon as we get that, we will let you know. Our leader after 4, Kimmy Rampone, one pair to our left. See her up on lane 37 right now.
Strike, spare, strike, spare, strike. Lefty fires it off the corner. Kaboom. Make that a double.
Kimmy's been a player who's kind of been here and there since she finished up at Sam Houston State and has bowled a handful of events. Definitely remember her throwing some extremely clutch strikes in that Bearcat victory. She was the anchor bowler. Sam Houston claimed 2014, let's say 14, 2014 NCAA title.
You are correct. Sam Houston State won title in 2014. Look at you.
I try.
You know, Michelle, I think I overheard some of our USBC higher-ups discussing that in Emil's next contract, it is going to stipulate that his next life event has to happen during the off-season. He got married. He got married 2 years ago on Labor Day weekend, which was right smack dab in the middle of the PWBA season. And of course, E3 comes to us right here in early August in the middle of the PWBA season. So
that was the tour championship in
oh, it was, wasn't it?
For
in
a
17
few years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we've got scores updated on the ticker in front of us. What about online? I know we've got a couple pairs that are a little bit behind. So that has been the delay. Like Summer Jasmine has fallen down 26 pins. She shot 174 last game. She was at plus 65. And the cut has moved to minus. As 6th place, Michaela Mitchell's even. 7th, Megan Zapansky -1. 8th, Brandy Branca is -3. And 9th is Caitlin Hold at -5.
Kaylin Hall, I believe. I feel Kaylin still may be a youth player. Like, she was, for some reason, junior gold last year sticks out. Junior gold or USA Bowl? Which one?
Oh, Megan Zapansky.
She feels the same way.
on that lane, the previous frame, she wrapped the head pin around the 10, shooting the washout.
I got that one wrong.
Yeah, nothing's coming up on Caitlin Hall.
I misspelled her name, though. Yeah, that's why.
Kimi Rampone in first, Ashley Gallant second, Caroline LaGrange in third, Caitlin Simpson fourth, Summer Jasmine in fifth, here we go, scores online. Kimi Rampone, your leader, plus 64. Ashley Galante, second, plus 61. Caroline LaGrange, third, plus 53. Caitlin Simpson, fourth, plus 41. Summer Jasmine, fifth, plus 39. And then a massive drop-off. The top 5, all plus 39 or better. Sixth, Michaela Mitchell is even. And then Megan Sapansky, 7th at -1. Brandy Branca, 8th at -3. Caitlin Hall, 9th at -5. Just outside the cut, Andrea Baer, 10th at -16, so it's 11 pins from 9th down to 10th. Brooke Bauer, 11th, -25. Christine Gill, 12th, -28. Lauren Pate, Aaron Zuprinsky tied in 13th position at -34. And Kayla Bandy, -41. She had been consistent all day, 199, 191, 203, 200, before shooting 166 in Game 5. Pamela Alvarez, Christine Johnson, Haley Richard, Casey Eaton, and Jen Higgins round out the top 20. And Game 5, Erin McCarthy, 186. She's -96 overall. So while the cut keeps coming down, our defending champion also continues to lose pins. And I think we're at that point now. She needs 700 in the back 3.
Officially can get scary.
Yeah, it's officially scary for our defending champion.
I did some more research while you were looking through the standings. So my Caitlin Hull was confused with Kaylee Hitt.
Ah, okay.
From junior gold last year. So
yeah, Kaylee Hitt made a good run in the U15 girls last year, and then this year U17, she was just outside the top 16, finished in 18th position. From nearby Cold Spring, Kentucky, Brandy Branca is going to step up on lane 36 with a chance to get into the 230s.
all three in the 10th. Jasriel Tan to get to -73. Two games left to go.
If she can keep doing, 2 games left to go. 2. This is game 6, good sir.
Isn't that what I said?
Please said 3.
Oh, you're crazy. I said 2.
Oh, maybe I was thinking of the 3 burger patties I'm going to get on my cheeseburger once this PTQ's over.
It's just like all the times you thought I said your city name wrong, when you just misheard me, that's all.
I'm not going to break the levels on the sounding board yelling at you because I know for a fact you said it improperly. Bridget Jacobs, nice. 213 game. She's at -79. As you said, Jazzy Tan, -73. Sapansky in the cut. Chance to get into the 220s.
Oh,
We saw that wrap 10 with Kayla Bandy. We saw that wrap 10 with Haley Richard, and now we see it with Megan.
and after that 8-pin, that could easily be a nice little 4-bagger right now.
Yes, it could. Coming off of what could have been a mark in the 5th, or on the 6th, where she hit, put the head pin around the 10 on the washout conversion attempt. Important right here with as tight as the cut is for Megan to knock this 10 pin down. And she's -1 coming in. 10th place, which if you're inside the cut, you don't want to look at what the cut person is. You want to look at the first person outside of the cut if you're trying to determine, quote, how far you are. With Megan being -1 and 10th place, which is the first spot outside of the cut for tomorrow. Being at -16, Megan was 15 pins to the good. Chance to get to 205 here. Get plus for the tournament. Ball change in the fill. Left off her hand. Holds the line. I might go with that one next game.
We like hold.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
You and me, being players that we know we can't hook the ball, so we don't really send it right very often. We know that we want hold.
This is true. Hold is our friend. Jimmy continues to roll. She's going to have another nice clean game. Had a 3-bagger in there. Be 217. Branka got to 221, so she's at +18 after 6. Looks like Michaela Mitchell is going to give a few pins back. She was inside the cut number at even to start game number 6. With the spare here, she can get to 186, so she's going to be -14. That's just how quickly it can kind of jump back and forth when it's this tight and the scoring pace is a little bit lower. You're not giving up too much ground in a situation like that, but if you happen to catch a few folks who can pop to 220, 230, those games are almost over-amplified to the sense of it's seeming more like 250, 260.
Christine Johnson right here on 41. She was right at the cut line after 4. Shot 157 last game, fell to -48. And this game has done herself no favors, unfortunately, with 3 missed spares, 3 missed makeables, 2 of them single pins, all on lane 42. Her last 3 shots on 41 she struck. She can punch out here for 171, which would drop her to -77 with 2 games to go.
And we may have a lull in the action.
On our featured pairs, it looks like it.
Coming up momentarily.
Pairs to our left are, we got 1 pair working the 8th frame, 1 pair working the 6th frame, and 1 pair working into the 9th.
Not sure who is scheduled up next.
Let's take a look. Game 7, I believe, is what we came down to.
Game 7. How about that?
Let's see. Yes, the players that are going to be on 39 and 40 in Game 7 are currently working frame 6 of Game 6. and 41 and 42. They are in the 9th frame of their previous game. So yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a lull, as you said.
Siesta.
You going to take a nap? You tired?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man.
Getting old. Finally older than someone on this team. Who's not Matt.
This is true. You're older than me. Whoa.
Well, it's Curtis Von Kruger.
Another guy. Curtis Von Kruger. A little bit of a shoulder massage there. I turn around, he's got a coffee cup right in my face. What is it with you guys? Man.
Louisville. That's right.
Hazing me in my own city.
That's right.
Louisville. Thank you. I spent the entirety of my lunch yesterday trying to teach these guys how to say my city.
This is what we're here for. But with that, why don't we take a quick break here? Once again, you can actually, let's see, this is a great opportunity to suggest you check out another channel for a little bit. 31 through 34 has the only bowling on our camera range at the moment. Looks like maybe 45 and 46 is going to get started up here a little bit sooner. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break.
If you're looking for something to watch
Ooh,
while we're waiting for the bowling to come up,
let's go.
stop by the lab and check out Team USA head coach Rod Ross as he breaks down several Team USA players in his new series, The Video Room. A lot can be learned from listening to Team USA's head coach, who was the Junior Team USA head coach the year that I was on junior team, Rod Ross. I learned a lot the 1 year that I was on team, and any years after that I got to talk to the coaches that were on junior team. Kendra Gaines, Kim Terrell, and Rod Ross were the main three when I was there. I learned a lot at camp, learned a lot talking to them in the years following. And that's someone who it's, I mean, you don't become Team USA head coach if you don't know something.
And and you can take this series many different ways because, not only as, you assume with it being Coach Rod Ross, that's going to be, primarily for coaching, and points out a lot of great things for the coaches out there. But, going through all these Team USA, Junior Team USA players, if you have some characteristics of your game that, and Rod takes multiple looks at you, so they have cameras all over the ITRC to get different angles of the players. So, one of the great things that I take away a lot from is, Rod points out is, showing where people's push-away start, and how that affects where the ball's at basically the apex of your swing and coming back, and why when you push it out a little bit to your right, if you're a right-hander, why it's wrapping around, why it's get to that, the ball's not in that premium position, kind of right behind, the player's head, just to fall right into the bottom of the swing. Don't have to wrap it around, anything like that. But it's, as a player as well, there's a lot of great stuff to take away from that. Teaser alert for you two-handers coming out. Chris Vi is going to be featured next, so be on the lookout for that on Monday. Two hands.
That's something I got to get better at. I'm not bad at it. I just got to get better.
All right, Walter Ray.
No. We are going to take a quick break here as we wait for our next competitors to hit the lanes, but I'm going to tease this, so stay tuned. As we begin Game 7 right here on our featured pairs, we're going to have some trivia for you. So make sure you stay tuned right here on Bowl TV. Watch the prompts, watch the chat. Brant is going to give us some trivia right before we start Game 7, but for right now, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on Bowl TV at the Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open from Executive Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky, right here on Bowl TV. Bowling lives here. right, we are up and rolling, no pun intended, here for Game 7 of the PTQ at the 2019 Pepsi PWBA Louisville Open from Executive Strike and Spare right here in Louisville, Kentucky, across from the airport next to the Kentucky Fair and Exposition Center and historic Freedom Hall, where the University of Louisville Cardinals called home for their men's college basketball team until the year 2009. Executive Bowl built back in 1976, so it's been around for 43, coming up on 44 seasons. Hosted many a PBA show, PWBA shows, high-level amateur tournaments. Back in the day, it was known for late-night pot games, action bowling as they call it on the West Coast. But as we teased, as we talked earlier, we've now started Game 7. So Brant is going to roll with your trivia question. It's one that I know the answer to simply because I live here. But let's put it up there. Your trivia question: how many PWBA events, including this week's, have been hosted in Louisville, Kentucky? How many times has the Professional Women's Bowling Association visited the city of Louisville, including this week's? Now's your chance. Get your answer up there. We will announce the results of the trivia at the end of this game. Get your answer up there. Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 5? Or is it 7? Of course, last year was the first year we'd seen the women's tour back in Louisville in quite some time. turnout at Fern Valley. I was there for most of that Saturday, and I think the turnout was pretty good. It was pretty crowded, and already for the PTQ today, we're seeing a decent crowd. Granted, this is only my second PWBA event, so I don't have a lot to compare it to, but the crowds here look pretty good. East Hartford, that Saturday, that Friday and Saturday, that crowd was awesome. And if Louisville can come close to that, Aaron Smith, I'll be pretty happy.
Yes, you should be. So that means your promoting had gone well.
Hey, I was talking it up as much as I could on social media and through word of mouth, the old school way of communicating.
I like it.
Before all this social media jazz.
Interesting jazz indeed.
You look like you would be a guy that enjoys some jazz music.
I could get down with some jazz. That's a
Have a snifter of your liqueur of choice. Sitting back in a dark room, maybe a fire crackling.
most of those things sound in play. Yes.
Well, on the ticker in front of us, we have some updated scores after Game 6. Still waiting on the online scores to catch up.
Ooh, tie.
We have a tie on the cut line. The cut, as you can probably imagine, has dropped yet again. We'll get to that in just a minute. First off, still your leader after 6 games, Kimi Rampone. Went plus last game to improve her total to plus 81. Ashley Galante, who is right in front of us, in second place at plus 64. Third place, Caroline LaGrange, also in front of us on 41, plus 60. Fourth place, Summer Jasmine, our guest in the booth for 2 days last week, plus 42. Fifth place, Caitlin Simpson at plus 38. The top 5 have not changed. The gap between 5th and 6th has decreased a little bit. Brandy Branca back into top 9.